Hello, welcome to the Daily Devotion. I'm Kathy Morris, pastor of the Dixon United Methodist Church. Our Bible reading for today comes from the book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 18, verses 1 through 4. God directs Jeremiah to go to a potter's house. There Jeremiah watches the potter work the clay. The vessel taking shape is spoiled, and the potter begins again. Let us hear this passage. I will be reading from the New Revised Standard Version. The word of the Lord came to Jeremiah. Come, go down to the potter's house, and there I will let you hear my words. So I went down to the potter's house, and there he was, working at his wheel. The vessel he was making of clay was spoiled in the potter's hands, and he reworked it into another vessel, as it seemed good to him. This passage of Scripture addresses a time in Israel's history, a time when Israel faced a devastating defeat by the Babylonian army. The spoiling of the pot was symbolic of the invasion and the destruction that Israel was about to experience. But despite the failure, there is hope for the future. God, like the potter working with the clay, will rework the people, recreating a relationship of faithfulness. I follow a devotional guide in selecting the scripture passages for these daily devotions. It is helpful in many respects, but I have to say that for this passage in particular, it really struck home for me. Since the beginning of the pandemic, I have felt as though we have had to reshape our lives. And then just as the new thing starts taking shape, some new development comes along and we have to start all over again. Here we are, 4 months into this process, and new things are still cropping up. It is disheartening, to say the least. One of the pastors that I know said in a meeting this past week that he felt as though he had figured out the pattern of COVID-19. That just as soon as he makes an announcement about something, it has to change. This has been our reality over these last several months. Miles Coverdale produced the first English translation of the Bible in 1535. He was a part of the Protestant Reformation. He was also a leader in the Puritan movement. Now, if we can just set aside our images of Puritans as being rigid and overly serious, it is important for us to realize how sincere they were in their desire to reshape and reform their lives in a way that reflected God's will and desire. They believed most sincerely that the best way to experience happiness and peace in life was to align our choices and our decisions, our way of living with God. They sought to open their hearts to the Bible and to allow the Bible to reshape their lives. It wasn't easy. There was controversy and opposition, setbacks and disappointments. Miles Coverdale wrote a prayer that I think speaks to our present situation with COVID-19 about the need that we have to shape and reshape our lives each day. This is how the prayer goes. Oh, give us patience and steadfastness in adversity. Strengthen our weakness. Comfort us in trouble and distress. Help us to fight. Grant unto us that in true obedience and contentation of mind we may give over our own wills unto Thee, our Father, in all things. according to the example of thy beloved Son, that in adversity we grudge not, but offer up ourselves unto thee without contradiction. O give us a willing and cheerful mind, that we may gladly suffer and bear all things for thy sake. In your prayer time today, try to find something that you can work in your hand, something like clay, but there may be some dough or other object that you'll be able to find that you can work with, and something that gets shaped by the work of your hand. Then pick one part of this prayer and repeat it to yourself as you are working the clay or the dough in your hand. You may want to focus on patience and steadfastness in adversity, or strength in weakness, comfort in distress or trouble. Just take your time and see what God reveals to you.